got big dreams, I'ma do big things. Yeah, you see me on the big screen looking so clean. I don't move slow, I move fast right past.
Yo, what's going on guys? Sam Explains here, and we have some pretty good news. If you are a TFT player and you've been looking forward to those reactor changes, it is going to be coming very soon, but I'll get into that in just one moment. Let's go ahead and discuss the patch today. They did make some content improvements, so we're just going to go over those real quick. I'm not going to go over the whole list. I'm just going to kind of highlight like what's the most important, but basically let's start off with the infiltration operations on 400%. They increased the lag issues that people were experiencing in those 400% dungeons. I assume this means for Freyna because I did run a couple dungeons with the Contagion mod earlier today, and it did seem like way less lag. Maybe they shortened the effects of the like green smoke that pops. I could be totally tripping about that, but to me it seemed way better than what it was. Or maybe it's just placebo after I read the patch notes, but regardless, they fixed some lag issues in those 400% dungeons. With ETA 0, you can now select all of your blueprints that you own, so there's a select all option that has been added. However, like I always say with the ETA 0, I would recommend holding on to your duplicate ultimate pieces. I wouldn't just disenchant them essentially, because it's really not worth the vouchers in my opinion, so do be wary of those. Just in case they ever add trading or anything like that, I'm holding on to mine, or if they ever add like a different system, or if they change ETA 0, I want to be able to have those like duplicate ultimate pieces. If you want to get rid of them, you totally can, but that's just what I'm personally going to be doing, so I'll leave that up to you guys, but you can just do it in one click now, select all, you know, all that good stuff. The energy activator blueprints and crystallization catalyst blueprints can no longer be sold to ETA 0. So apparently we had some people that were selling their energy activator and catalyst blueprints, which is bad. You never want to do that. And then they just added a little bit of quality of life with ETA 0. It's going to display the name of items that have been sold out. Originally, when you bought something, you wouldn't really be able to see what you bought. You would just see the icon and it would say like sold out or already purchased, something like that. So they did change that. Another big one they added was a dismantle all tiers option to the exclude from junk filter. So now you can dismantle, you can select an extra option to dismantle all tiers if you're just trying to clear your inventory as fast as possible and you don't really care about reactor farming. That is something that you can do now. However, enhanced reactors and external components with set effects, they need to be designated separately, so it's not going to automatically disenchant those unless you set it to, and or just like manually scrap them. They said they made some changes to the chat banned word system, which I think having the chat be so like censored to the point to where you can't even efficiently like talk to your teammates is a big issue. I think what they need to do is definitely lay off of that and let people just like talk how they want to talk, and then people who don't like it can turn on like a profanity filter. This is a rated M game. It is kind of silly to me that, you know, you have like Descendants like Bunny and stuff like that that's cursing, and then you can't even type damn, right? Like there's way too much on the chat system that it blocks. It was even blocking like just so much stuff that prevents you from communicating with your teammates. I would definitely love to see them back off of this, because I think the less censorship in the game, the better. The chat system is pretty ridiculous right now, so hopefully they do make some improvements to that. Now granted, I do think that like, you know, if you want to make it to where like certain words, like, you know, really offensive words are like banned, like I think that's totally cool, you know, if it falls under like racism or discrimination or something like that. But as far as just like, you know, curse word, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's a 18+ game, like it doesn't need to be censored. Just in my opinion, you might feel differently and that's fine, but I would like to see them get rid of that. He does go on to say, so this is where the big one comes in. He says, over the next week, the dev team will be conducting a final review process of the PS5 Pro build. So if you do have a PS5 Pro, basically what he's saying is that you're going to get improved performance. So they will be launching that soon. So it is really good to be a PS5 Pro owner if you do own that, you'll be able to get a lot more stability, better frame rate, stuff like that on TFT. So that will be launching on October 30th. And then this is going to be the update that everybody has been waiting for. So he goes on to talk about, first up is the update on the improvements to special operations resource defense. We're changing the waves in resource defense to 10 stages, dramatically reducing playtime, so all waves will be completed in about 15 minutes. Yeah, these were taking way too long. I never do these. It's just not worth it for the rewards you get. So they are like massively reducing the time it takes to clear one of these, which I think is good, because these are just kind of useless, especially now that we have like 400% dungeons. There's really no need to go in the resource defense. But if you want to, you can, but they are buffing it. So I think that's good. They are buffing this. They want it to be the most efficient weapon proficiency farm. So this is going to be the new best XP for the weapon proficiency is what they're saying. So they want to make this no more void farming, no more 400% dungeons for the weapon proficiency. They want to make the resource defense the main way to gain it, which I think is good. I think there's options. Options are always good. Probably I'd still stick to the 400% dungeons just because they're so like quick, but we'll have to wait and see how this looks. Like how much better is it going to be, right? But who knows? Maybe they'll add it to where you get like a 3x multiplier on weapon proficiency and resource defense or something to where you just like can't pass it up, right? So we'll have to see. That's probably going to be the best way to farm it though on October 30th. And this is the main one, the reactor changes. He says, next I would like to mention the addition of the reactor implant system. The dev team has been working on the reactor implant system to eliminate the inconvenience of having to farm a new reactor every time you switch to a new weapon. This is what people were waiting for. We thought we were going to get it with the last patch, but I guess it just wasn't ready. So they are going to be pushing this out in 2 weeks. Now, one ultimate reactor can have up to 3 weapon optimization conditions. This allows you to change weapons during combat and still maintain your optimization conditions. That is insane. That's really good. Also, the second and third optimization conditions can be changed at any time, giving you the freedom to apply the optimization conditions you want whenever your weapon settings change. The dev team is constantly reviewing feedback and data on the reactor system and reactor farming and looking to bring you a more improved reactor system farm in the long term, so please stay tuned. Yeah, so this is going to be like a really huge deal because basically when you have a weapon equipped, you have to have that weapon equipped to keep that bonus, like the bonus stats that you're gaining from it. So now what this is going to do is allow you to, if you're like swapping weapons like from your primary or whatnot, you're not going to lose that bonus. So we'll have to wait and see how this looks, but it sounds really, really good. They also said we also have various quality of life improvements and ultimate weapon revamp in the works. So I'm assuming this means that they're going to take some of those lower tier weapons and buff them up a little bit or revamp them. We'll have to wait and see. I'm assuming it's going to be like Fallen Hope, a couple other ultimate weapons that just aren't performing really well. I imagine they're going to be revamped, probably buffed. I'd assume. I think that's really good because, you know, basically everybody's using like the same like 6 to 8 weapons, right? So variety is always good. Then it also says on Wednesday, October 30th, the much requested rename game account feature will become available. So I'm assuming this means that you can like rename yourself. That would be my best guess. They said they're going to be announcing that in a separate announcement. So if you have been wanting to change your name, it looks like you'll be able to do that. I'm assuming that's what this means, but you know, not like a super big deal, but you know, if you like started your game with Steam and it saved your username or whatever, you'll now be able to change it from my understanding. It says the dev team is always listening to your feedback and we're giving our all to make the First Descendant even more enjoyable to play. They're doing really good. We sincerely appreciate your continued interest and valuable feedback, and we'll continue to make progress step by step to meet your expectations, so please look forward to it. Those are basically the highlights, guys. I just wanted to keep you informed. So we are getting those reactor changes on the 30th, which is a really big deal. That is going to feel really good. I just wanted to keep you guys updated and all that good stuff. Also, I dripped up my Freyna. I decided to go with black and pink. Black, pink in your area. Please don't unsubscribe. I'm sorry. Oh, another thing I did want to mention, because this is a pretty big deal if you didn't know about this. If you come down here, you can now select your default movement method. So instead of like having to constantly like press shift or whatever to like run, you can now just have it to sprint all the time, so you don't have to mess with it. I figured this out like a day or two ago. This does help a lot with like getting through those dungeons faster, because sometimes you just accidentally like click the shift button and you just like don't know if you're running or sprinting. So this is just gonna make it to where you're sprinting all of the time as the default movement method, so that is really good. Now the only thing that I really want them to add is being able to let us craft multiple catalysts, even if it was just 2 or 3, bro. I feel like that's like the main time gate, but they've kind of already buffed everything, right? Like it's so easy to just level, and like you could probably like max out a character and a weapon in like 4 hours now. It's actually kind of nutty. On launch, it would have taken you so much longer. So I'm not going to complain about it that much, but I do feel like if we're buffing everything to let people finish their characters and full build them like really quickly, right? Some catalyst changes would be cool, especially to help those players kind of catch up that maybe started a little bit late or don't have as much free time to play. I think letting us craft like 2 or 3 at a time would be really cool. Hopefully they'll add that in the future. Also, ETA 0 is coming back this weekend. I will make sure to make a video on the new loot and stuff like that. We'll see what changed, or if anything changed, and maybe we'll see more equipment inventory slots, hopefully. We'll have to see if they also have the Descendant slot again, because that is, if we're getting one of those every week, that's crazy. Like, we're never gonna have to buy Descendant slots again. Anyways, guys, that's it. I hope you have a good one. I just wanted to update you guys. I am Samix Plays. Drop a sub if you appreciate the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Y'all have a good one. Peace.